Welcome.
Hey, we're back.
You done pouring that thing yet, or what? Jeez.
I guess still more. Still more to go in here. There you go. Look at that.
Perfect. I got
Looks
the
beautiful.
trillium glass
Ooh.
today.
Can I take a sip, or do I have to like do the whole intro thing? I'm
Yeah.
just cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
I've been thinking about this all day.
Yeah, same. All right, so what do you got? What are you drinking? What's on the menu for today?
I'm going to welcome the viewers. We want to get right into the beer. Sorry, guys, but welcome to the Pints and Profits show. I'm Dennis, the Free King Flipper,
and my name is Scott, and I am at Fisher Flips.
All right, dude, I can't put this down. This is amazing.
I know, it's pretty good.
This is another treehouse. I get it. I'm a fanboy. I get it. I totally get it. No, there's no shame in it. This is a 12th anniversary double IPA. That's the name of it. It was released today.
All right.
And it just says they wanted to commemorate their 12th anniversary. It's 8.0. It's very treehousey. So it's a little thick. It's all citrus, all like tropical. It's absolutely amazing, and it does not taste like 8%. I mean, I'm probably going to have 2 of these before we're done.
Well, that's kind of a guaranteed, right? That we have 2. I mean,
what do you got going on?
All right, so today I am drinking. It's called All or Nothing, which is kind of fitting in the reselling business, right? Because we go all or nothing.
Yeah.
So again, it's very citrusy. It is from a brewery called Threes Brewing in Catskill, New York. I never had it. It's really good. Very fruity, tropical. It's a 6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
Yep.
You'll have 2.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a 6.8. So
you'll still have 2.
I'll definitely have 2. Of course.
Oh my God. So I set up this little backdrop here. I don't know. I was in like a real dead zone last podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed the first one. You got to bear with us. We are not professional podcasting editors.
I was sitting outside, and it was a nice day, and it got dark, and it got cloudy, and I'm sure by the end of the podcast you could barely see me. So better lighting, better atmosphere. So we're good.
So grab a beer, guys. We're gonna start, and normally what we like to do is we like to talk about beer, the beer world for a little while, throw in some reselling stuff, and then just completely off script and whatever comes to our mind.
That's it.
So,
so I got a question. So I'm gonna say, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I've been drinking Treehouse now for a while, only because it's like 10 minutes down the road, and I switched over to a lager while I was on vacation. I gotta tell you, man, I could really get into some like good lagers, especially summertime.
Yeah,
light, crisp, like beach beer.
Yeah,
you know, you bring 2 of these to the beach, and it gets. I don't know. It's refreshing, yes, but super filling.
And it's funny because like I didn't want to eat like before the podcast because I know I'm gonna have 2 of these, and if I eat something heavy, I'm not gonna probably finish it. So gotta keep it light.
So I will probably do a lager next podcast and just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So what were you gonna ask?
Oh yeah. So when did you start like coming into the IPA? Like when you were younger, did you immediately start drinking that, or did you start with a normal 20-year-old college, in college, drinking the Coors Light and Bud Light?
Nope, I never drank really that. It's my first few years, maybe like Bud heavy.
Yeah.
And then I went over to anything that was an ale, not necessarily an IPA,
Hmm.
like an American pale ale, a red ale. I was drinking red ales. And then Pete's Wicked Ale, which was a dark ale.
Okay.
And then got into some smoked stuff where it has a smoky flavor to it.
Yes.
Basically, I just wanted to not drink what you were drinking. That's it.
Right. And that's like the
That's
opposite.
really it.
That's completely opposite of me because and I've said this before, I never liked the IPAs, right? And it wasn't until a couple years ago with you that you're like, dude, just try it. Like, just try it.
Yeah.
And my kids are older. My oldest is 31. So, my kid's a lot older. So they're like, Dad, just try the craft beer. And I'm like, no, I didn't like the taste. I had a few
Yep.
and it was just like, I didn't really like it. So I'm like, I'll stick to my Coors Light, So yeah,
And that was it.
so now it's like I can't go back.
I mean, it's definitely an acquired taste. It
It
is.
isn't. It is an acquired
It
taste.
is all the flavors.
Yeah. So I've
All,
been trying everything. Like I'll try every time I go to the beverage center, I'll grab a new brewery and try it. A different flavor. I'll try everything just to see what I kind of like, And I've
right.
kind of narrowed it down. I think we have the same palate, but
Yeah.
there's a couple like it's real like a piney taste afterward. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like you're eating a pine cone. So
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That was the kind of the entry into IPAs for me. It was all Vermont IPAs. It was
Hmm.
all super bitter finishes, super bitter kind of towards the end of the beer. And you just kind of got used to it. But I'm telling you, dude, after like 2 or 3 of them, like your palate's smoked.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Yeah.
good God, I can't. And then they slowly started to filter in some of the more fruit forward hops and kind of tone
Hmm.
down that super pininess, and then it just went nuts.
Yeah.
And
And I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to learn like the names of the hops and
yeah,
the how it hits you in different sections of the palate. Like I'm just still learning,
yeah.
but
I mean,
I
the
love.
3 most common in this type of beer, obviously Citra. That thing is
Hmm.
like that's like the Honda of hops. It's everywhere. And then Galaxy and Mosaic. And then any combination of those. They'll
Right.
just do 2
Right.
of them or all 3 of them. And then now they're doing some crazy stuff, peacherine. I
Yeah.
I don't
I,
know. And it's
Like I
nuts,
try I
man.
try to stay away from like the mango and the peach and like the
Yeah.
super tropical because when they mix it all together, it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
For me,
because
I don't.
they'll do purees mixed in. I stay
Yeah.
away from all of that. I don't want anything like that. I just want to taste the flavor of whatever that hop profile is.
Right.
That's it. Um, s- Speaking of hops, and this is a sort of reselling podcast. Um, I was talking to a guy at Treehouse like a week ago, and we were talking about all the new hops coming in. And I'm like, Treehouse is making millions of dollars. I get it.
Yeah.
But the real people making money are the hop growers. They
Now,
will
do they
they'll sign a contract with you and your brewery and your whatever.
now
And
are all the hops like for Treehouse grown on the Cape, or are they
no,
out like by Western Mass or where they're from?
I don't even think they're from Massachusetts.
Really?
They're getting New Zealand hops, all the ones on the West Coast.
Okay.
Um, but I think an Australian hop. But I mean, it is very global, and they're buying these hops because obviously they're making signature beers with them,
Yeah.
and the hop grower knows it. They're like, we know you need our stuff, so that maybe like 2 year, 3 year contract, and then that thing expires, and then time to pony up again, and then you
Yeah.
sign up, and the price will go up. So these guys are killing it,
Yeah.
and then
Absolutely.
you can't even get. Let's say you wanted to grow Citra hops, right, in your yard.
Mhm.
You can't. You can't. They will not give you live plants. They'll give you the pelletized hops to brew, but they will
Yeah.
not give you the actual
It,
plant. It's like
it,
it's almost like a
is it
registered trademark.
right? That's what I was gonna say. It's like you have to be licensed or authorized
That's it.
to grow it. Yeah.
That goes for a lot of the ones that we're having in these beers. I grow Comet hops, which is not super fruit forward.
Mhm.
It has some nice notes in it, but it is not like Citra or Galaxy. And of course, they just let you do that. They let you buy Comet hops and grow them. There's a few others that you can buy, but all the big brand name ones, no. It's like a family recipe that nobody could get.
Right. Now, have you ever tried to like make your own? Like, have you? Because
I don't grow
they have
enough.
no.
Yeah. I have I had 2 plants and then they keep shooting up different plants. So now I think I have 6 and they're strung up onto a tree. And I just think it's fun. It's fun to watch them
Yeah.
grow and climb. And
Mhm.
then somewhere in the end of August, early September, you'll actually see the hop buds start to pop all over them. And they smell amazing. It smells
Yeah.
awesome. And I don't know, I usually pick them, smell them. That's re that's really I just don't have enough. I don't have enough
Yeah.
to really flavor a beer with them. There is a beer that uses Comet hops, and it's a local place here called Widowmaker up in Braintree,
Okay. I think I've heard of
and
them.
they have a beer that uses Comet hops, and it is named Blue Comet, and it's really
Nice.
good. It's a
Nice.
great IPA. So, if you guys are watching, I love your beer. I love your stuff. Any case,
Yeah. So on the same topic as Treehouse. So where I live in Albany, in Saratoga, they are building a treehouse in
oh,
Saratoga.
that's right.
I want to say it's going to be opening this summer and the fall. I'm not quite sure, but it's
Wow.
a great place. If anybody's ever been to Saratoga, we have the track, which is huge. They just had the Belmont Stakes there, at
Wow.
Saratoga. Because I guess I don't follow horse racing, but I guess the Belmont
Yeah.
track is being rebuilt. So they moved it to Saratoga racetrack. The racetrack in Saratoga doesn't open until mid July.
Cool.
So they had 150,000 people there last weekend for all 3 races. Insane. But
Wow.
through downtown Broadway in Saratoga, it's amazing. There's all different
So
breweries, there's restaurants, it's huge.
where is the treehouse going in
I don't know.
Saratoga?
I don't know. Somewhere in Saratoga. I haven't really looked into it, but I can't wait to go.
Now, how
I mean,
far is that from
from
you?
half hour,
Oh, oh
half
no.
hour. Yeah.
You're gonna do this. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. We're going in again. Oh,
Yeah,
brace yourself.
it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be fun. The scenery,
Yeah.
it's a whole different scenery and a whole different vibe than the
Yes.
treehouse by you.
Yep.
It's not on the
Yep.
water, but downtown Saratoga is very beautiful.
They'll always incorporate the community
Yeah,
and and they make it real classy. It's a great
yeah.
ownership
I'm
group.
I'm
It
definitely
really
looking
is.
forward to it.
That's amazing. Wow. Um, well, I've been selling some stuff this week.
Yeah,
I've
I had a decent weekend. Um, Yesterday and today, not great,
no.
not great.
If you are new watching us, I'm an everything seller, and Scott is primarily a
Yeah,
clothing seller
99.999% clothing. I've been getting into shoes, only because I got a shit ton for free.
and
Um,
cameras.
oh, and yeah. So during my day job, I get to drive around a lot. Okay, and there's always free stuff on the side of the road. And Dennis loves to sell cameras, so I found a camera yesterday in a pile
Awesome.
of teddy like plush animals. It's not a great camera, but it's still a camera, right? So
Yep.
yeah, if I see something, I'll grab it. Like I said, 99.99, it's clothing. Where Dennis, you're no
Everything.
clothing, right?
No, well, very, very
Well, very
few.
little, very little.
And what I've learned to sell is, obviously the stuff, the brands that you've told me. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things. You got to be super into it. You got to know the brands. It's almost like a foreign language to
It
me.
is.
I know maybe 10 brands. Like
Yeah,
that's it.
and that's all you really need to know. Like if you're not a clothing seller, if you know the basic 10,
Yeah, but they
you're going to be
change
fine.
though. They
Of course
change.
they
That's the
yes,
thing.
they do change.
See, for
A lot.
in my world, video games, 80s toys, and oh, I don't know, 80s electronics and speakers and stuff.
They're
They
not
don't
changing,
change that much. They
right?
really don't.
I know.
You know,
Yeah, it's
I could list a video game 2 years ago, and I could list it again today, and both are gonna sell,
for around the same price.
versus you're gonna list a brand 2 years ago and then try to sell that same brand now,
Yeah, oh,
and
there's so many brands that I could sell for $40 last year, or even a year. So
yeah.
say go last year for 40 bucks for a pair of jeans. They're maybe 25 at the most,
Mm,
and they're solid brands. But
wow.
it's always like the clothing is always changing, like the
Yeah.
style, everything's you have to keep up on the trends.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of it's trendy,
Yeah.
and just knowing the trends is not always the brand. Like you can find a Patagonia, but it may sell for $15 now because it's not what it used to be.
What's your favorite brand to find and sell?
Oh, come on, I can't tell you that.
What's I don't know, top 5. Give me 1 out of the top 5.
One of my top 5 brands, for I'll say for women's jeans, I'll say Judy Blue.
Okay.
So Judy Blue is a solid brand that hasn't fallen off. And let me just like first say like I don't like to give out like all the brands, right? Because I feel that the reason like the brands have dropped down in price
Yeah.
is because of this, right?
Yeah.
A lot of YouTubers going on saying, "Oh, buy Carhartt." Well, here's the first thing. When I first started, I had a bunch of YouTubers saying Carhartt's horrible. Don't ever buy Carhartt.
Really?
And I never did. And
Yeah.
then we picked up a pair one day, and I was brand new, so I didn't know anything. And I'm like, these Carhartts are selling for 40 bucks. So did that YouTuber don't pick up Carhartt because he didn't want you to buy the Carhartt
Maybe.
and said it was garbage. But then you have people who, a couple years later saying, will say, Patagonia better sweaters used to sell
Yeah.
75 to $100. They're maybe 35 bucks now.
Oof.
Yeah, so I would say Judy Blue is a solid brand. Miss Me is always a solid brand. That still hasn't dropped down. Um,
Yeah.
Carhartt, I pass over Carhartt all day. I just won't
See,
pick it up.
that's the difference. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Hell yes. I found something."
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm because I'm not following trends.
yeah, and there's just the off brands that aren't really popular that you have to
Yeah.
look out for, you know. And those brands that have
That's
tucked back here,
right.
and I'm
And you
like
gotta
looking through, I'm like,
research.
oh yeah, there it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um, I
I
found
get
a
it.
pair, and I'll tell you right now because this brand hasn't ever dropped off, and it's called a Goldie, Agolde, a Goldie
Never heard of
jeans.
it.
No, not many
Never
people
heard of
do.
it.
That brand's solid. I don't care if every YouTuber talks about it; it's gonna keep its value. We picked up a pair of a Goldie jeans. I was at the bins last weekend before, and I'm going through, and you have resellers. They throw stuff back into the bins, so it's the throwback
Yeah.
bin. I see the guy throwing them in, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And they're picking them up in their Goldie jeans, and I look at my wife. I go, "Oh, look at it!"
Yep.
And they sold for $60 a week later on Poshmark, just like that.
Wow.
And it's just one of those solid brands that will always keep its value. So it's
Is it an
like stuff like that.
is it an older brand? I've
No, it's just the trend. It's just one
It's
of those
just solid.
brands
Yeah.
that hold its value, like that Judy Blue, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot, and I don't want to be like a gatekeeper, but there's a lot that you just don't want. You don't want to like just tell everybody
No.
because then
Totally get it.
it floods the market.
And then
No,
no one benefits.
no one
That's what happens.
benefits because then everyone's racing to the bottom, and now you're selling those Patagonia
Yep.
sweaters for twelve
Yep.
ninety nine.
I still haven't sold mine.
That
That
blue one,
better
you
sweater. I
really?
don't think I've sold it yet. Or if I did, it was only like 25 bucks.
Yeah, they don't sell for much. I have a better sweater right now that I paid up for. I think I paid $8 for it,
Okay.
and still sitting there. It's at $30. I keep dropping the price. It's sitting there.
It's almost the point where I'd probably just keep it and wear it
That's a
if it's my
women's. I mean, it's
size.
not going to really look good on
Oh,
me. You know what I mean?
All right, maybe.
So what are like you talked about video games and stuff. Like what's like one thing that you will always grab, even if you have to pay up for it? Because we know you're the free king flipper. You don't pay
I
for much.
will.
So if
No,
you
I
have to
don't.
pay for, if you have to pay up, what will it be?
If I have to pay up, I'll try to translate this into what you just said. Okay. We talked about some brands that have fallen off. Xbox 360 has fallen off. Like just I I rarely pick up Xbox 360 games now just because the resale on it is bad. It's just really bad.
On the
And I
games or the
think
console?
the games,
Okay.
the consoles too.
Okay.
Maybe a controller, something like that. But most of the games are junk. Most of the games are like $6, $7 with free shipping. Something like there's just no money left in it.
Yeah. That's
If I got a box of free games, sure, I just throw them on there. But what are you going to pay for an Xbox 360 game if it's only paying? You might get $4 for it.
yeah. You have. I mean, even if you got it for free, you're only making $2 on it.
That's it.
Yeah.
On
At
the
that
flip
point,
side, the solid brands, dude, it's always old Nintendo. Always. From the original NES, Super NES, GameCube. Just crazy.
and do you think like people are they still playing those games, or are they just
Yeah,
putting them up on their shelf for?
both, because you get the game with the case, and you can write complete in box
Yeah.
CIB. More almost double for
Yeah.
versus disc only or disc with the case with nothing. So you might be right. They might want that nostalgia, but they want the whole thing complete and they can put it on their collection. They're literally collectors. They
Yeah.
want every game from that system, and then we'll move on to the next system and collect all those games.
Yeah.
There are some very rare, low printed, Super Nintendo games, GameCube games, and I'm finding some of these things. I can't think of a name offhand because they're so
Yeah.
obscure.
Yeah.
But I mean, $85, $125 for a game
That's nuts.
used,
Yeah.
and then you
I
try to find something like that for Xbox 360, and it's just like,
I
I don't know.
remember like when I first started selling, I started selling everything. I was an everything seller in the beginning because you don't know in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
And what is that NCAA game? Is it 14, the college football game?
yeah.
Is it 14 or 12? What year is it?
Uh,
With
I think it's 13.
I forget what it is. But anyway,
NCAA 13. It's the last one,
the last
supposedly.
one. I don't remember what year, but I found one once, right, at a church thrift. It was like $1.99. And at that
Yep.
time, I think I got $94 for that game.
Yeah,
But
they're right
I
around
don't
$100.
are they still there?
It's fallen off because there's rumor that
Well,
they're
it's out. The new one's
yeah,
out already.
yeah. So that's gonna fall
It's
on
gonna
its
fall,
face.
but yeah, because I remember that because it was the big hype then,
Yep,
and that's when everything was, everyone weren't blabbing about their brands and stuff, and I'm like, I
yep.
can't believe I found this game like sitting there just with like a bunch of books, and it
I
sold like
found
right away.
the 12 and 13, and I put them together, and it was like $140. It was like
Yeah.
crazy.
Now, so if we're wrong, guys, in the comments, if anybody wants to comment what year, maybe we're wrong on the year.
Yeah,
Let
I
someone.
think
I'm
it's.
sure.
I'm pretty sure it's 13.
Yeah.
NCAA 13.
I don't know, 13, 14. I think it has
But
like a
in any
Michigan
case,
player in the front. Yeah. Yeah.
don't be
So,
running out to buy it. I mean, don't pay up for it.
no.
I'd still probably buy it and flip it because you can, even if it went down to $30.
Yeah.
You're gonna find them for $2-3. But yeah, it's the same type of thing. The trends aren't as I don't know, impacted the clothing
Yeah.
world is.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be like that trend can change like 3 times
Oh,
in a year,
the clothing trends
or almost
change
week to
month
week.
week to week.
Yeah.
It's and what I think like what I've learned to do is you see what the kids are wearing. If you're
Yeah.
like say you're at a festival and you see the teenager kids and they're wearing whatever they're wearing is what's in trend. And it doesn't
Yep.
matter the brand. And I think like, was it last summer? Like the baggies coming in. It's like the
Yep.
Y2K look is coming in. it doesn't matter if it's a pair of Faded Glory or Gap or Old Navy, or if it's a top tier brand of jeans. They're
Yeah.
gonna sell because the kids want that trend.
That look.
That look. It doesn't matter what it is.
Wow.
And that
And
happens
then
a lot.
shoes are the same thing. That's a totally different language.
Yeah, man, I hate shoes. I hate
Wow.
selling shoes, but I found like not a month ago. I think I've told the story. A month ago, I was sitting around and I saw up on the Facebook alert free clothing, just free,
Awesome.
15 bags of clothing. Run out there. Well, there's probably 50 pairs of shoes, and I hate
Wow.
selling shoes. I hate selling shoes.
I don't
Just
mind
be,
it.
like I'm just not like my storage room is set up. I got boxes. I mean, all on
Yeah.
shelving. And I don't have like the setup for shoes. Like my photo area is not set up for shoes. I'm just not set up
Yeah.
for it. But I grabbed them all, right? And they're starting to sell, 45, 50, 40, 35. They're just a bunch of Timberlands and Nikes and Jordans, just
Yeah.
your basic stuff, but they're finally catching on. Like a lot of boots are selling. And
Really?
I just throw them in a USPS shoebox,
Yeah.
out the door.
Gone.
And most of them are selling on Poshmark, which is
Okay.
even better because you can just throw them in a USPS box and kick them out the door.
Yeah. I
So I'll be
do like that.
glad when they're gone. I'll be glad when they're gone.
That's good money though. I mean, that's
yeah.
free
Free.
inventory.
It's free inventory.
My
Felt
favorite
like
word.
I felt like you for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch topics here.
Sure. What do you got?
Keep on the tone of drinking, okay? What is like one of the I got some notes here. We try to keep it unscripted, but I have to write notes because when you turn 50, and you'll know this pretty soon, Dennis.
Yeah.
When you turn 50, you seem to forget, right? So I have a few notes, but you don't know
Cool.
what these notes are. Let's go a past drunk story. Tell me a time. Now, listen,
God.
it's the family channel. You got to keep it PG. Well, you can go PG-13, maybe R,
The
but
first
remember,
one that I thought of
gotta
was
keep
rated R.
you got me too. You got to keep it clean, and it can be whenever. So, what do you got?
Wow, don't put me on the spot like that.
It can be
I mean,
anything. It can be anything.
I just started drinking like 2 weeks ago, so I really don't have a lot of
Ah,
experience in that.
well, what was? You can think of something. You don't have any ideas?
No, I do.
Okay.
Let's see. How about wow. I'm trying not to do the rated R ones.
I mean, you can get it. I mean, you just don't want to get it like over the top.
I'm just gonna go right for over the top.
All right, go ahead.
Right for over the top.
Just do it.
No names. No names will be mentioned in this to protect
I like.
the
I
innocent.
like that. What do you got?
This was probably no, this wasn't probably. This was definitely um, right after college. No, this was during college.
Oh wow.
Yes. Okay, so this is probably 95, 96, right around there. So we decided that we wanted to go to the Canadian Ballet.
In Canada, I'm assuming.
Nope.
Oh,
That's an AKA the Center for the Performing Arts. Support your local single moms.
what college?
Ballet.
What college was this? Where'd you go?
Was
What
it? I went
college?
to the University of Massachusetts at Lowell.
Lowell. Okay.
Lowell, yeah. So the local establishment where girls could go and sort of make money to pay for their college education. You follow me?
I got you.
We call it the Canadian Ballet.
Got. Yeah, yeah.
It was
Okay.
just over the line. It was just over the line in was it Nashua? It's just over the line in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's go. What else are you going to do at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday?
Yeah.
So before we go, my buddy who was very money conscious said, I'm not paying like $6 for a beer. And we're like, all right, that's fine. He goes, so we're drinking here. Okay. So we start just drinking, playing games, let's get primed up and let's go. We get to the place. It looked like it was closed. Why? Everybody parks in the back. So people driving by, you know, can't see your car up front. Like, hey, I saw your husband's car in the front of this place. Anyway, so we pull in the back. I don't even think they carded us. It's 5 o'clock on
Well,
a
dude,
Thursday.
nobody in the 90s we never got carded back in the
No,
90s. Never.
So we shouldn't even be going in this place. We are done. And it's almost to the point where it's gonna like pop you, like everything that you just drank.
Yeah.
We go in right to the front, right to that front row. Do you know what that's called?
Is it a pew?
That's called Pervert's Row.
Okay.
Like you're right in the front of the stage, right? So we're there, and my buddy's ordering some drinks, and I'm ordering drinks, and the performers, the professional performers are
Mhm.
coming out.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing, and we get to the point where the girl comes out, and she's in she's in one of our classes. I'm like, isn't that? And we're like, no, no, yeah, that was her.
It could have been worse. It could have been your professor.
That would have been hilarious.
But continue on.
Anyway, we have more drinks, and I should have stopped like an hour and a half before. And the next thing I knew, the manager was asking us to leave because my head was completely down on the stage, and I was like, dude, I am done.
Done.
And they're like, you gotta go, you gotta leave. So 6 of us get up, and we start walking out to the parking lot, and another guy comes out, and he's leaving, and he's parked right next to us. So I'm there, and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't feel good, and I'm hanging on to the side view mirror, just kind of sitting there. And the guy gets in his car, and he opens the door and almost knocks me over. So the kid comes around, my friend comes around, and he just wants to fight him. So he starts pointing the finger right in the chest like that to the guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, he's like, what the, and he's doing this. And the guy, as in the meantime, I'm like hanging over the thing, like just trying to hang on, and they're getting into a fight. And
That's funny.
the bouncer comes running out. And he's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. I called the police. So boom, everybody gets in the cars, and we take off. The next day, they told me that right in the middle of her performance, I just went boom, head down, out. So imagine as an artist, and you're trying to, perform your craft, and someone just passes out in the middle of that. So I still feel bad to this day. And if you're watching, I'm very sorry.
Now, the next day in class, was she like, I saw you guys last night?
No, it was next day was a Friday. We planned our schedule, so we didn't have any classes. But
That's funny.
I think we saw her in the student center like over the weekend, and no eye contact.
No.
Zero.
That's crazy that she would be there knowing she's in college, in a college town.
Gotta pay.
You gotta pay your tuition.
Yeah. Wild.
Right. So my story's not as good as yours.
You never know.
I can't top that. Because I don't think I have a lot of drunk stories.
Oh my God.
Because
this might be a reoccurring thing.
Part of it is because I probably don't remember because I was so drunk. That could be part of it.
Okay.
So it's a sort of funny one, but it's a story. So let's go with that. I put myself on the spot. So me and my wife, we go to Florida a lot. We go down to Clearwater Beach, and if anybody's been to Florida, on Clearwater Beach, there's a resort called Shepherd's. Now Shepherd's is like on the water. They have a big stage, a lot of local acts, some big performers came in. A fun fact before I get to the story: Coolio, remember Coolio?
Oh yeah,
He performed there a week after we left, and died like a month later. But yeah, so
Wait,
Coolio was there.
Coolio is dead?
Coolio's dead. Oh, he died like 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's was that
Coolio.
Gangster's Paradise?
Yeah. Back from the 90s.
Oh my god.
You didn't know that?
I did not know he was dead.
Yeah. He died. Yeah, it's funny. So we were
Wow.
there and like we're like looking at the brochures and like we're like, shit, Coolio's here next week. But we're leaving. Yeah, so the story. So it's just a big stage right on the water. Everyone's big dance, everyone's dancing, this and that.
Yeah.
So we always like to go there because it's just a good time. So it's our first night there. We march right down to Shepherd's and we start drinking. Right. We're probably there for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Having a good time, having a bunch of drinks, and we don't feel like we're drunk. We're just drinking.
Sure.
But I think like Jen went through a bottle of wine. You know what I mean? I probably had like 4 or 5 drinks. So we were definitely putting them down. So we get up to go and we start walking and we're like, fuck. Like as soon as we stand up, it just fucking hit us.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we're fucked. So we
Was it hot out?
This was probably in August.
Oh,
it was hot.
God.
Yeah, it was hot. So we start walking back, and we're not staying at Shepherd's because we're not that rich, right? So we just like to go there. We stay at a different hotel, and the walk is maybe 5 minutes, maybe that, not even. I don't know how the fuck we got back to the hotel. We don't remember getting there. We walk there. We're just like stumbling. We're getting to the room, and then that's it. We wake up in the morning. We're like, how the fuck did we get back to the room last night? Like, I don't remember. And I go, how much was the bill? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, how much of a tip did you leave? Did you leave like $100 tip? And she goes, I just think, So yeah,
man,
the tip was appropriate for the bill. But yeah, the next day was not good. It was a bad next day. So we're just at the beach. It was
my
bad.
head hurts just thinking about that.
So we're walking back from the beach, and on Clearwater they have it's next to the taco bus. They have like a storefront business where they do IVs for people who have massive hangovers. You walk into the IV place like in the morning. They give you an IV. It's the thing. I guess we saw it the next morning.
Wow.
And you can I guess you can just walk in. And they give you an IV and they rehydrate you, and you're like healed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really what you need.
Oh, it was a bad day.
You really need an IV and then like oxygen.
Yeah. We didn't need to drink more.
No.
But
you did.
But of course, we're on vacation. Why wouldn't you drink on vacation? I think by 11 o'clock we cracked one open. I mean,
you're like, I feel good. I'm all right.
Yeah, I mean, what cures a hangover? It's just more drinking, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so my story wasn't as good as yours, but it was still a story.
And how old were you?
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so for all you youngsters out there, 25 to 35, bro, the recovery time starts
horrible.
It's awful.
Awful.
Like, oh, you went to bed and then you woke up at noon and you're good to go? No. You're still hammered when you wake up at 10 a.m. And then it takes the whole freaking day. It
was all day. But,
it's bad.
You're on vacation.
It's really bad. Wow.
So what is an alcohol? It can be beer, it can be liquor.
Yeah.
What is something that you'll never ever drink again, and why?
Oh, good question.
Because I have 2 off the top of my head.
And boom, I already know exactly why.
And the smell of my 2 make me nauseous thinking about it.
Same thing. This was in college again.
Naturally.
And the big beer to drink back then was Killian's Red. Remember that beer?
Yeah.
Killian's Red. It was a red ale. Really cool bottle. I don't even think it was supposed to be Irish, but it wasn't. I think we drank like 3 cases of that. Just playing drinking games. Boom, 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 boom. Left the dorms, went to a couple of dorm parties, came back to the dorm. Obviously, you want to drink more after you went drinking. We were all out. Only thing we had sitting there smiling at us with a sinister grin was a 1 liter bottle of Kahlua.
Ugh.
And we just passed it around till it was empty. Just
Yeah.
straight drinking Kahlua straight out of the bottle.
That wasn't
Pass
on my
around.
list. That wasn't on my list, but yeah,
Oh,
I can add that to
somebody
my
put
list.
in the first 6 albums of U2 and just hit shuffle. And we were sitting there for the next 2.5 hours listening to all these U2 songs. Like, God, it's such a great
Oh,
band, man. I love Bono. Give me that thing. And Kahlua isn't that strong.
no,
It's
it's
like what,
not.
17
Yeah,
proof,
it's not a
maybe?
lot.
But after you went drinking all night and now you're sharing a liter and just keep passing it around with like 6 people
Yeah,
until it was gone. Oh God.
yeah.
Never again. I
No,
hate the smell of it.
it's
I
horrible.
won't do it.
I remember
Yours is
mine.
not tequila. It's not tequila.
Clue is not tequila.
No,
No.
no, no.
Oh,
Your
mine? No, no, no.
yes.
Mine's not. I got
Gotcha.
two. Um,
Yep. I'm
I'll go.
curious.
I'll go with both.
Can I guess? Can I
Okay,
guess?
yeah, take a guess. It's a liquor. It's not a beer or anything because I'm fine with beer. But
It's
go ahead.
hard. It's hard liquor.
Mhm. There's two of them.
It is probably a brown liquor,
I don't know what
like
color it was.
uh,
It's
like
dark.
like like Scotch bourbon.
It's dark.
It's a rum.
Rum is one of them.
Okay, and
I don't
whiskey's
know
the other
what I
one.
don't know what kind of rum it was, but it's a
Rum
rum.
and whiskey. Rum and whiskey.
I don't know if I don't know if the second one was classified as, but I'll tell you. Okay, the first one.
Okay.
So I didn't go to college. I went after high school, went straight to the military. So I'm probably 17 years old. And was the drinking age 21 then? 18, 21? I don't remember. It didn't matter. I
Yeah.
was still drinking in my. Now, let me preface this by saying where I grew up, we had a finished basement. And in that basement was my bedroom, my brother's bedroom, and like a big living area.
Okay.
TV, stereo,
Cool.
side entrance where my friends could just come down without my parents knowing. So that's the setting. I'm probably 17 years old. I may have graduated high school that summer. So you remember Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that was the big thing then, right?
Yep.
So all my friends were downstairs playing Tecmo Bowl all night. And we decided to drink rum and coke nonstop all fucking night. I got so sick. Like I got sick like that night
Dude,
drinking
it's the
this.
sugar. It's so much sugar.
So bad. So
Oh,
to this day, the smell of rum, even rum cake, it takes me
yeah.
back 35 years ago. Like, fuck, get it away from me. I can't even look at it.
Yeah.
Horrible. The smell's horrible. I don't even like Coke now because of that. Like
That's a
straight
good thing.
Coke. Oh God. So yeah, that's one of those things. Now flash forward, I'm coaching Pop Warner football. So my son Matt is probably 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever year it was. I coached Pop Warner for 15 years. And I was always one of the coaches. So up in Saratoga, of all places, and we have like a Saturday afternoon game.
Yeah.
And my coach was like, hey, let's go to whatever bar it was. So we're there, and he's like, hey, you ever had Hennessy before? I go,
I
nope.
called it. I called it.
Is Henny a whiskey?
It's a cognac, but it's in the same family.
So I never had it. He goes, all right, here we go. He goes, Henny, it was like Henny and Coke or Henny and something. So I'm like, this is pretty good. And it's like tasteless. It's going down smooth.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like 4 or 5 deep. I don't remember going home. Like I remember sitting there with him, and this is like 7 o'clock at night. It wasn't like we're out.
Yep.
I think Matt was on his way home, and I'm like, we're gonna go out with the coach for a few drinks. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I don't. I remember like walking to the truck and waking up the next morning.
I'm fine. I don't know what happened.
And I've heard a lot of people say when they drink Henny, it fucks them up.
Yeah.
And I'll never ever drink it again.
I have to be very, very careful. I'm an Irish whiskey guy. So it's Irish whiskey and IPAs. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And I have to be very careful for the same reasons. You're just like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, it went
Tastes
down so.
amazing. Going,
The taste is so good.
and then you're like, boom. Like,
Like
whoa.
it's like someone slipped me a roofie. I don't remember.
Yep.
Right? It's like, what the fuck did you
Yep.
give me?
Yes. That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's and I have to be careful because I get stories with like my father-in-law. I might as well tell it. What do we got? We have time. We have
Yeah,
time.
we'll go another 10 minutes or so.
I was a very novice whiskey guy. We learned about whiskey in college, and that was like the cheapest, crappiest stuff just to get my buddy to puke. Because like every time he smelled whiskey, he'd puke. So we're like,
Yeah.
all right, we're all gonna do a shot of whiskey. He's like, no, no, come on, dude, you got to do it. We're all doing it. And in any case, I go down to visit my future in-laws for the first time, and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, was all real hesitant to introduce me to dad. And he's 6'2", he's probably like 230, guns, NASCAR,
Yeah.
classic, that Clearwater, Florida area. She's like, well, he's in the garage and there's a bar in there. There's a Harley in there. There, all this stuff. She's like, "You're gonna be okay?" I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm fine, totally fine." She's like, "Okay." She opens the door and basically like shoves me in and shuts the door real fast. So I go over and introduce myself, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Hey, have a seat." I'm like, "All right, here it comes." Right here comes the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope, not at all.
Really?
He's like, "You like Jimi Hendrix?" Yeah. All right, cool. Boom, puts play. Blaring Hendrix. He's got some type of sports game on. I think it was the Tampa Rays game. That's on. Then he's like, what are you drinking? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really have anything. He's like, you like scotch? Sure. All right. Goes over, grabs a 15-year-old bottle of scotch and goes boom, boom, three fingers each. Neat, no
Yeah.
ice. Here
Yeah.
you go. Have a seat right here. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm sitting here. I get my glass. You smoke cigars? Yeah, from time to time. All right,
Sure.
cool. Reaches into the humidor. Here you go. So this is me now, 15 minutes after my wife dropped me off, sitting back in the chair like this. Whole place is all fogged in with cigar smoke. I got this beautiful looking 15-year-old Glenlivet scotch in my hand, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm like, what are you talking about? So like 15 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. Little door opens like this, and she like peeks in. Hey, you okay? And then it just shuts like that. That was it. That was literally the first time I met this guy. I love this guy. Just I couldn't have asked for a better father-in-law, and we love all the same things. It's amazing.
That's
From
awesome.
fishing to sports to beer, breweries, whiskey, guns. It's everything. We
Yeah.
love all of that stuff. All types of sports and cars, bikes. He had a vet in one of the garages, and then right next to it is Harley. So I'm like, this is awesome, dude.
Is
This
he
is
a
amazing.
Celtics and a Red Sox fan?
No, it's all. He's originally from Ohio,
Oh,
so
so he's
he
originally from
took some
Ohio?
of his.
Okay.
Yeah, so he took a lot of his, Browns and Buckeyes and the Indians. I'm sorry, the Guardians,
Oh, yeah.
and he took them all down with him. And then he'll root for some of the Florida teams. He's been down there for 30 something years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, every time I go down, we'll fight over the Red Sox and the Rays. And the only thing he likes that I don't is NASCAR. I can't get into it.
Yeah, I can't either. I'm all out of my drink, so I'm gonna have to get another one.
All right, I'll keep them entertained.
I don't know what you're at. Did you
I
finish
gotta
yours?
run in a second, and then you can keep them entertained while I go. Oh, you already got one.
I have the fridge right underneath my feet.
See, I'm an amateur over here. I have to actually go in. Where I was yesterday, guys, and I know I'm gonna hear a lot of crap for this. That was not one of those virtual reality backgrounds. That's the bar in the other room. So that's
See, now, like you need to have like a mini fridge, like because I know where you are in your storage
yeah,
area,
yeah.
like your main eBay area. You don't have a
Mhm.
mini fridge. I mean, you have a mini fridge in the other room,
Yeah.
but you don't have one by your feet. You got
No.
to
So
walk.
I'm gonna run and go refill. So um, what I wanted. This is what I made notes. I wanted to hear, and we got about 10 minutes left in the show. I want to hear about the coolest celebrity, sports person, famous person that you've met.
I have a lot. Now, do you want sports? Do you want music,
Ooh,
or do you want Hollywood celebrity?
fuck them.
Yeah, no, they're kind of lame. And it's not a good story.
Um,
Say sports
I got,
because
really?
my music story. I got a lot of music stories. I met a lot of
All right.
famous musicians.
So,
The
you do
sports.
sports, and mine is a non-sport
Okay,
or music. Mine's an author.
an author. Judy Bloom.
Didn't we already talk about her jeans
That
today?
was Judy Blue. Like, go get your
Judy
drink.
Blue,
I'm gonna
Blue.
I'm gonna discuss shortly while you're gone my music people because I want you here to listen to the sports guy.
All right, I've been watching The Acolyte, so I normally go to the other room armed.
We may go over the 1 hour, so if people want to continue to listen to our great stories, they can. So go
I'll be
get your drink.
back.
Hurry up. All right,
I'm just gonna leave this here.
we'll guard it. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna go with a basketball an NBA player back from the 90s to play for the Detroit Pistons. And it's not a Boston Celtic. I know Dennis will probably want to
Boo.
hear a Celtic player, but we're going to go with that. Oh, he's back.
All right, I'm back.
And you have the same drink?
Yeah, but for some reason they changed the color on it. I
Huh.
hope it's the same beer.
Well, you got the Celtics and the Knicks colors, so that's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't want the Mavericks colors.
No. All right, so my
How
story.
about it? Huh?
So my daughters, I have 4 kids. 3 daughters, 1 son. My 2 oldest daughters played AAU basketball. So a lot of you parents who have their kids playing AAU basketball, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we traveled a lot, Long Island, New York City.
I'm sorry. What's AU?
AAU basketball? You
Yeah,
don't know what AAU is?
I do not.
So in the basketball world, AAU, so it's the Amateur Athletic Union, I believe.
Okay.
Pretty much your kids try out for a team and you pay a shit ton of money for them to travel the Northeast to play basketball. And the goal of that is to get, college looks to play D1 or whatever college, right? So I put both my girls into AAU basketball. So my oldest daughter, Gab, was probably 12 years old at the time. So I don't know, what year is that? Let's see, 93. Let's say early 2000s. I don't want to figure the math right now, but 12 years old. So we're down at Pace University, which is it's in like northern, I think, Rockland County, but it's above the city, Newburgh area, Poughkeepsie, whatever. So we're at Pace University. And at Pace University, there's all these different courts. We're at the main court. And you know how some of the basketball, courts you have like above the court is like a walking track.
Yeah.
And most of the dads would look down and just watch from above because we don't want to be around everybody. We just kind of watch from above.
Yeah.
So I'm up there, we're looking down, and I don't remember if my daughter's playing this guy's daughter or I'm watching another game. But anyway, it was a while ago. I'm up there and I'm looking over to my right and I see this another dad, probably 5 foot, my height, 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, baseball hat pulled down, hoodie on, and he's just looking down, looking around. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Who who's your daughter? What number is she? And he's looking around and showing me. I'm like, yeah, okay. We're just chit chatting about basketball.
Yeah.
Now, the back of my mind, I know who this guy is. Like that's Isaiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons.
No.
I'm like, that's insane. Like the regular dude just watching his daughter play basketball.
Yeah.
Right. And we're probably shooting a shit for 10, 15 minutes. Normal dad basketball talk. I know who the guy is, but you don't want to fanboy
No.
a famous person because they're a human. They're a person that just want to watch basketball.
Yep.
And we left it at that. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. Good luck with the season. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe it's Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Let me take
Sign
a picture.
this.
Yeah, sign
this.
this. Can you sign my shoe? Can you take
Ugh.
a picture with me? It was just none of that. And I think
It's tacky. That's super tacky.
I think he appreciated that too.
Yeah.
That obviously everyone knows who Isaiah Thomas is.
Oh yeah.
Right?
This wasn't some like scrub NBA player that no one would even recognize.
It's part of what was the what was the Detroit Pistons bad boys of NBA? Like he played for with Lambeer and all those people.
Yep.
So we're just I know I met him too. He's an asshole. But yeah, we're just shooting the shit. And within 5 minutes after our conversation, what do you think happens?
Oh my God, it's him!
Oh my God, it's Isaiah Thomas!
Yeah.
Everybody runs to the guy.
And then you can't even watch what you were trying to watch. You're there to watch your kid.
Yeah, the dude just wants to watch a basketball game with his daughter.
That sucks.
Yeah. So yeah. Christian, what's his name? Lambeer. What's his first name?
Bill
Lambeer. I met him.
Right.
He was coaching a WNBA team.
Of course he was.
And I don't remember what team, but they were playing the New York Liberty. And a buddy of mine got us like front row seats for the WNBA game. And it goes, so remember your WWF tickets at the Knickerbocker Arena you sold? It was at that arena, but at the time it was called the Pepsi Arena. They switched names a few times.
Okay.
It's a big arena in Albany. So we had courtside seats for the WNBA game. And after, like before the game, he came out and like a meet and greet. He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like his demeanor.
Yep.
He was just a dick.
Yep.
Not a great story, but he was just a dick.
I'm not surprised. The Celtics, he was like #1 enemy of the Celtics.
Yes, he was a dick when he played, and he was a dick in real life.
Yep.
So
hey,
those are my quick stories. I think we could have this segment a lot. I got some.
I don't have a lot.
I got some big heavy hitter names that I've met back in the early '90s when I was a kid.
That's cool.
That people like to hear about. So what do you got?
Mine is really short. I've only met maybe 5 or 6 famous people. I would see them, but I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, whatever. This one, I had no choice because the guy was literally sitting 2 rows in front of us. We are at the third base side of Fenway Park.
Okay.
We're watching a game, mid-July. We're losing. And I couldn't help notice this guy like 2 rows in front of us, sitting there watching, and then he had his head down and watching, right? This is like before cell phones,
Early '90s, you think? What year?
I'd say early to mid '90s. So you didn't have a smartphone. You had maybe a flip phone. But what I noticed him doing was he was actually reading a book on one hand. And then on his lap, he had the scoring sheet. So he was scoring the game.
Okay.
As he was watching it. The dude beside him was this big dude like this and almost like a long coat. And I'm like, that's just so strange. It's so weird. And the guy that was scoring the game and reading a book and watching the game had a football jacket. So like Maine on the back. And then on the side it said Owen. You know who that is?
I don't
Stephen
recall.
King.
No shit.
Stephen King. He had season tickets. And we never knew it. So I'm like, I am not gonna bother him. That is just
No.
super, super tacky.
Yeah, it is.
And my uncle who was with us, he's like, he's a huge Stephen King fan. He's like, yeah, that's him. That's him right there. And I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. Like,
Yeah, right.
that's cool, right? So I think it was seventh inning stretch. He stands up. We all stand up. We do our stretch and all that. For some reason, he turns around and looks at us. And I'm just like, hey, Mr. King, love your work. And he's just like, hey, thanks. Just like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I blew up the spot. I think he turned around and he blew up his own spot because within 15 minutes, people are coming up to him, hey, can you sign this?
Yeah.
Hey, can you sign this? So that went on for, I don't know, 10 minutes. And he's like, I'm out. So the poor guy couldn't even watch the rest of the game. Like, that's the thing. You trade your ability to do normal things for being a celebrity.
How do you think he got in there without being noticed, though? Because he was, I mean, seventh in a stretch. He was there for a while.
He was there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he just sat there. He wasn't drinking. He was just sitting there, literally watching the game. And then in between innings, he would read, a couple pages of his book.
You think he was reading? Was he reading his own book?
No. Nope. No.
He was reading Judy Blume.
I couldn't probably. Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was a paperback. But yeah, he's scoring the game, reading a book in between innings, and literally watching the game. The classic, the classic blue hat with the red B. That's what he's wearing. And the dude next to him is either a driver, a bodyguard,
probably bodyguard,
something. But it was one of those cool nights. It was one of those cool nights in the summer. New England weather. It could have been like 80 during the day, and it's like 60 at night. So people are wearing sweatshirts and windbreakers.
It kills me that like when people have to like take a picture or get an autograph.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have nothing. I have nothing from that day other than the memory of.
Well, that's the thing. Like some of my stories of the people I've met, like I don't have anything to show it. Like, am I a liar? No, but nope. I was never like, I was always a personable person. Like, they're people. Who cares that they're making billions of dollars and they're famous? They want to be treated like a human. That's a normal person. That's it.
I did break the rule once, and only because this was the 2007-2008 NBA season.
Wait, let me add, quick before you start that story. So you said there was Owen on his jacket.
That's his son.
Right. Did he have a book named Owen? Wasn't there something with Owen with the book or something with him? No?
I don't think
Omen?
so.
Did he write a book named Omen? Maybe it's
no,
Omen.
That's Damien. That's the Omen movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they made the Omen 2 and then the Omen 3.
I don't read. I told you that.
No, he's written a book for his son.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know what book that is.
It just came to my mind.
If you guys know, that's huge points if you know what book he wrote for his son. What book did he write for his wife, Tabitha? Super cool name.
I don't know the answer. That's for sure. All right, continue on with your story.
I'm literally going to a job interview. If you guys don't know, I was a police officer for 15, 16 years until I smartened up and got.
But we can get into
much
that
much love for my brothers and sisters in law enforcement. I get it. And I know that all the ones that I talk to are like, I cannot wait to get the F out.
It's funny. My brother's works for a Collier County Sheriff's Department in Florida. I think he's been there. I think he has another 2 years left. But yeah, I have law enforcement like in my family. I never went that direction. But I feel you. He can't wait to get out. Yeah. But he loves his job. And he's gonna be watching his video. So shout out to Brian. Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Yes,
serving.
and your
And he's
service.
a
Thank you.
military vet as well. So appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Continue on.
So I'm going to my job interview for police officer. This is like my third job that I've had. From here, moved to Virginia, and then back. And I'm in Waltham, Massachusetts. The Boston Celtics have a training facility in that town. I'm literally making a left-hand turn at the lights, and two dudes are getting out of a Range Rover going into a local restaurant. And I'm looking, I'm like, that dude is huge.
Like,
That dude is Kevin Garnett.
what the fuck? You can't miss Kevin Garnett.
I'm sitting there like, oh God, I have to. I have to. Pulled in there real quick. I get
Like,
out
like
before
the interview, they will understand if you're late for your interview.
I told them the story in the interview. I said, I'm just a huge Celtics fan. And I'm like, I had to. I'm like, I was still early. So, give me some credit for being way early enough to stop and meet Kevin Garnett and Sam Cassell. So they were both traded to the team that year. And what happened was Garnett wasn't going to come over from the Timberwolves unless we took Sam as well, because they're super close.
Right.
So anyway, they're ready to go in the restaurant. I'm like, hey, Kevin, welcome to Boston. And he just stops short and turns around. He's like, oh, hey, man, thank you. And I said, you got a second for an autograph? He's like, absolutely.
Were you staying up to it? Like, were you at his hips when you're talking to him?
I could not believe how big he was.
He's like
I'm
6'10", right?
I'm 5'11", and he is, he's
6'10"?
like 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah.
He's almost 7 feet. It was wild. But
Yeah,
he signed it. He's like, hey, what's your name? Boom, 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 signed it. And I'm like, hey, you guys are going to do good things this year. He's like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
and then they go on to win 2008 championship.
Wait, so
so I get back in the car. Huh?
What did he sign? What did he sign?
He signed it. I have it hanging up right here. He signed a piece of paper out of the manual. I had no paper. Out of the manual of my car that I was driving, I just ripped this piece of paper out. And he's like, what is this? I'm like, it's the only piece of paper I have. He's like, all right. It says, to Dennis, stay good, KG.
Nice.
So I've had that since 2008, or the fall of 2007.
So you were a fanboy.
Oh God, I was, dude. I've never been starstruck like that. That was incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
he was just so cool, and to this day, he's my favorite player. His absolute insanity and intensity. The dude would literally headbutt the padding under the hoop.
Yeah, KG.
And he'd sit there and he'd punch himself, and he'd talk smack to everybody. The dude was literally insane. It's just, you call it intense, I call it absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But
nice.
That's it. So, I don't know. Wrapping up, we're at an hour and eight minutes. We're 2 wins away. 2 wins away.
Yeah, you guys I think you're gonna sweep. I think
that's what everyone's saying. I still say 5 games. I say we split.
So next game's in Dallas.
Tomorrow night in Dallas. Yep.
Well, tomorrow night for us, but by the time this releases, the series might be over.
Oh my God, you're right.
Shit, we should drop this early.
Yeah, I don't know. So
or
we got
what we should do? I have an idea. We drop this next week. We make a special recording when the Celtics sweep them before this comes out.
Yeah. I know.
We'll
our plan is to.
I think they may take first game in Dallas.
Yeah, and then we take the second.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They may win one.
And then we come back and we win in Boston. So a gentleman's sweep, and you get to win it in Boston. The city's gonna go nuts. Dude.
It's gonna be nuts.
Crazy.
Did you watch? I'm obviously a Knicks fan, but yes. I want Boston to win. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan. I hate the Yankees. I'm a Red Sox fan. I don't follow baseball, but I hate the fucking Yankees.
Yeah.
So
that's what I like about you the most.
I got to root for the Celtics.
Why not? We'll be back on top. The game's original monarchy.
Yeah,
back on top, 18 championships.
that's pretty good.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for tonight. What, you any closing thoughts or anything?
I had some more stuff we'll go over, but we'll go over those next week.
Yeah.
We'll retouch some things I want to talk about. Other than that,
Cool.
it was a great show. Thanks for everybody
Yeah.
for watching, and we'll do it again next week. So on that, we'll just say cheers.
Cheers. Please subscribe.
Yeah.
I mean, it really helps.
Yeah. One last thing I want to say is that with us drinking all night, it's fun.
Yeah.
The more we drink, the better. I want you guys in the comments to give us ideas. Let us try something different. We kind of stay to what's in our, our demographic. Like Dennis stays on his local brews. I stay in my 518 Capital District stuff. Somebody in Denver. Hey, we have a great brewery out here in Denver. Send it to us. DM us, message us. I'll pay for the shipping to come to me. Let's try different breweries.
We can trade.
Yeah, we'll pay. We're resellers. We have connections with shipping. We'll pay for the shipping for you guys to send us beer.
My shameless plug would be, please, someone from New Orleans and they're close to Parish Brewing, bro.
Yeah,
it is.
Like I want it. Like my goal is to expand this to the country first, right? People in different parts of the country, send us your stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have one brother lives in Seattle. Like I want to have him send me stuff. He doesn't drink anymore, but have him send me stuff. And like next time I come see you, I'll drop it off to you, and we just drink it together on the air. Just try it.
That'd be cool.
Let's get out of our comfort zone and try things we don't have. So yeah, so that's my goal for this. So
I love it.
We'll go with
sharing
that.
The love of beer and random stories.
Yeah.
I hope you laughed. I hope you were entertained. I mean, that's why we do this. I learned a ton.
And it's a whole. I know we want to end this show, but it's a whole different like side to like reselling, right? Because we're gonna throw some reselling shit in there, but it's more or less just some two average dudes selling and talking about stuff, enjoying a beer, and talking, and throwing out some nuggets here and there about reselling. But it's not going to be that like your normal. Hey Dennis, why are your sales so slow?
Right.
Oh hey, do you promote?
Yeah. No.
What do you think about free shipping? Like fuck all that, right?
We do that all week anyway.
No, we don't want to.
This is so refreshing not to have to talk about it.
No, and there's a lot of channels out there that like go over that, and like if that's cool, if that's like there is some value with some of those channels, and I watch some of those channels because I get a lot of like insight of like policies and like this and that, but no one's doing this. Like no one's getting drunk talking about reselling.
People are getting drunk, but they're not talking about some of this crap.
So watch us. Like it's just different. It's just different.
Beer, strippers, and Stephen King. Like what? What?
Yeah.
Where are we going with that? Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And then last week, guys, did you enjoy the ghost stories? I mean, this is what we're talking about. Just anything.
I still haven't. The little boy has not been back. I've not seen him.
Good. Okay. You just jinxed it, but
I look for him every night. But he's not there.
Hey.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Great to talk with you guys. Great to share this time with you guys. Have a great week. Cheers. And we'll see you soon.
All right.